Here's some instruction on how to change the pulleys and the tailpiece on an aura head. We're going to need certainly 2 tools, maybe 3. We've got a 2mm Allen key, the 4mm T-wrench Allen key, and possibly we'll need a tool like this ring spanner with a little hole on the end. Now it will help, I expect, to put the flyer on the head. So I'll start off by doing that. Okay. The first pulley we're going to take off. With this one, you put the Allen key in long ways like this and undo it like so. What can sometimes happen is if it's done up very tight, because we don't want them to come undone, you can use the ring spanner over the end of the Allen key like this to help break it free. I'll put that to one side, we won't need that again. So we loosen it off, not too far, because the Allen key, the grub screw is quite short. And then this is where the flyer comes in, that if the pulley is firm on the shaft, you can hold on to the flyer to help undo it. So I will carefully pull this off. Oh, there we go. There's the flyer pulley off. The next one we're going to take off is the bobbin drive pulley. So there is enough space for the Allen key to go in this way round to break that one free. Then I put it in endways, and you'll need to unscrew it quite a long way because it goes into quite a deep hole. Okay, if it doesn't come off, then chances are you need to do a little bit, unscrew it a bit further, and that should slip off fairly freely. Okay, I'll put that to one side. There we go. And you'll notice that they are quite different sizes to make it work. On the bobbin drive, there's this little hole here. We have to line the grub screw up with this hole to go in there, and this is to stop us damaging this surface when we screw it back up. So now we've got it off, we slip it back on, taking care to line up the grub screw with that hole. You can hold on to the bobbin drive pins over here to help align it. So it's looking pretty good in place. And when you do this Allen key up, this grub screw up, it's going to wind down nearly flush. You don't have to wind it too tight, but it will go down flush. And if it doesn't, then chances are you haven't got the grub screw in quite the right place. So there's the bobbin drive pulley on. Now on the flyer shaft, it's very difficult to see. There is a flat spot that is ground. I'll see if I can catch the light in a way that shines. You have to line up the flat spot on the shaft, just by my thumb there, with the grub screw on the flyer drive pulley. So we'll rest that there, like so, and slip the flyer drive pulley on, like that, then do this one up. Nice and firmly. Okay, so this is the bobbin and flyer drive pulley changed. I'll take the flyer off because that will make life easier to change the tail piece over. Taking care not to drop it. A little bit more. I'll put that to one side. Now for the tail piece, this is where you will need the 4mm Allen key. So put it in there and unscrew it just nice and carefully, like so. And the tail piece will come off. like this. Now when we put these on, we put a little bit of Loctite, which is a thread locking compound, onto this. We also put a little bit of wax on this surface here and here, because it's important that the tailpiece slides free, because obviously this controls the tension on the bobbin drive band. So when you put the new one on, put it back on, and if you can have access to a little bit of thread locking compound, put that on as well. The Allen key back in and screw it up. Now the tension needs to be adjusted kind of carefully. If you do it too tight, the tailpiece doesn't drop down, and then it'll mess up the adjustment here with this little screw. So you've got to back it off just a little so that the tailpiece falls down under its own weight. And what can happen sometimes is, if the screw is very free in the thread, then as this moves, it can screw and unscrew the thread. That's why we use the thread locking compound. But this now is all together.